Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Thursday, September the 15th. It's Green Peace Day, National Cheese Toast Day, National Cream de Menthe Day, National Double Cheeseburger Day, which I am a fan of the double cheeseburger. I also like the single cheeseburger and the triple cheeseburger. But that's also
Just
why
cheeseburgers
I
in
have
general.
a double chin. So, National Felt Hat Day, National Linguini Day, National Neonatal Nurses Day, National Online Learning Day. I'll try that again. National Online Learning Day, National Tackle Kids Cancer Day, and National Paw Paw Day. All of those things happening on this Thursday. And I've got a Dear John letter from not quite done, about done with dating. And I actually know this guy, and I feel really bad for him. A terrible, terrible dating adventure that he went on.
Yikes.
We're going to chat coming up here in a bit about that. And you can chime in with about done with dating. If you'd like to chime in about his experience and your advice, you can do that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
What can I say that I haven't already said about bettercreditcards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At bettercreditcards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. New poll says that planning a wedding today is more difficult than it was in previous generations. Over 2,000 people involved in this survey. They found 42% need between 6 months and a year to plan their wedding. Only 1 in 5 think they could do it in less than 6 months. The one poll survey aimed to determine how today's wedding mix modern trends with traditional customs. Some of the findings: 20% believe the practice of a bride wearing a white dress is a dated tradition. So 20% don't like that. 80% apparently do. 19% think the mother, son, father, daughter dances are outdated. Again, only 19%. That means 81% disagree. 75% think the tradition of the bride not seeing the groom before the ceremony is an old-fashioned thing. Again, only 25%. 75% apparently disagree. 23% believe the modern tradition of having more than one maid of honor or best man is here to stay. And this says they also surveyed the number of participants, the perfect number of guests, and most people, the one that was the most popular answer, 115. So there you go. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by radiotravelgroup.com. Heidi, did you know a county in Florida is under quarantine, but not because of COVID, because of snails. A population of giant African land snails that can produce up to 2,500 eggs a year has invaded North Port Richey area.
Oh my gosh.
The invasive species poses a health risk to humans because they carry a parasite called a rat lungworm, which causes meningitis. Although giant African land snails are illegal to own as a pet in the U.S., some exotic pet owners are still keeping them. So they're saying, yeah, that's probably what happened there, but there's apparently an outbreak of giant African land snails. So
great.
There's a lot going on, even just in that name, and there's definitely a lot going on in that story. And once again, we don't claim to know everything, but now we know this. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The King of Adventure is back. Indiana Jones 5 showed the first trailer recently at the D23 Expo. It was not online. Harrison Ford appeared on stage to speak about the clip, joined by the director and co-star. Looking emotional, Ford said to the crowd, "Thank you for making these films such an incredible experience for all of us. I'm very proud to say that this one is fantastic." Then pointing to Walter Bridge, he said, "And this one is one of the reasons the 80-year-old, also insinuated that this will be his final turn
80.
as the hero. He assured the audience we have a really great story to tell, as well as a movie that will kick your, well, I won't say on the radio, we'll say tush. Indiana Jones 5 scheduled to be released next year, June 30, 2023. And the Transformers star Josh Duhamel said, I do, to his fiancée recently. Former beauty pageant and competitor in a beauty pageant competitor, I guess it says, tied the knot during a scenic rooftop ceremony that I clearly did not get an invite to. So there you go. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year, we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Gramm, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. The Queen's funeral will take place on Monday, September 19th at Westminster Abbey. It's been announced the state funeral for Her Majesty will start at 11 a.m. at the church in central London. The Queen's oak coffin was taken from the castle to the palace the other day on a slow 6-hour journey by hearse to allow mourners to gather in the towns along the way and pay their respects. So that's really nice.
That is nice.
You know, she's been queen for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So King Charles III was officially proclaimed Britain's monarch on Saturday in a pomp-filled ceremony steeped in ancient tradition and political symbolism, and for the first time broadcast live on television and live online. Surprisingly, Kate Middleton and Prince William, the new Prince and Princess of Wales, stepped out of their first outing together since receiving their new titles, accompanied by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. The foursome took an emotional tour of the tributes to the late Queen and greeted well-wishers at Windsor Castle before leaving in the same car driven by William. William thought the walkabout to greet the crowds was an important show of unity at an incredibly difficult time for the family, according to a royal source. Now, coming up later in the program, we do a thing called The List. And
right.
I don't always tell people what we're going to do later in the program like this, but I'm going to do the line of succession for our list today because
I saw this online. It's very interesting.
It really is. So it's like, okay, who's next on the list and who's coming up? So this is the top 10 list. It's the 10 people that are in line. So Prince William, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and so on. But we're going to go through that entire list coming up later in the program. I just thought it was absolutely fascinating. So I do have that. If you're not able to listen later in the program, I've got a link to the list and to all the stories that we just talked about in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? Check out this beautiful family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Poipu, Kauai, Hawaii. Our family stayed recently and we absolutely loved it. The area is so beautiful and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can all enjoy your own area in a vacation rental? Visit Hawaii and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. Learn more at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
And it's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John, dear John.
All right, I got a Dear John letter here, and I always keep these anonymous, so I'm not going to say who this is, but I will say this. I know this gentleman. He's a nice guy. And here's his letter. Dear John, a girl asked me out on a date last night. We decided on a place close to her, and we were supposed to go on a date today. She said she might be later because she needed a babysitter for her 6-year-old and her 1-year-old. Anyway, long story short, I traveled over a half hour to meet up, and I noticed I was going to be a few minutes late because I thought I knew where the place was, and I got there and I didn't. So I had to use GPS. I turned down the wrong street. I called her to tell her. I said, hey, I'm sorry. I thought I knew where the place was. By memory, I didn't. I used GPS, turned down the wrong street. She got kind of quiet, and I said, hey, are you mad? She said, no, it's okay. I'm fighting with some eyeliner anyway.
What?
I said, okay, cool. He hung up. When I pulled in, like 2 minutes later, I witnessed her leaving the parking lot. She was turning her head off to the side so I wouldn't know it was her. And then she took off on me. I drove all that way for nothing. I tried to call her, but it went to voicemail. Do I give up on her completely? Do I give up on dating completely?
Jeez.
Signed, about, done with dating. So, I don't know. The weird thing is, she said she might be a little bit late too. So you wouldn't think if it was 2 minutes, it would make that big of a deal, but I have no idea. Does that seem a bit odd to you?
That's very odd, and I would definitely give up on her.
And the thing is, this could be maybe a blessing in disguise if she gets that upset over you being 2 minutes late, even when you called. Now, if you hadn't called, if this letter was just saying, hey, I rolled in late and I saw her leaving, that'd be a different story, even though 2 minutes to me would be a bit early for me to get up and leave. The other day, I waited like 15 minutes, 20 minutes before I finally called somebody and said, hey, are we still meeting today? So, again, I would have not stormed off after 2 minutes.
No, that's bizarre.
Now, here's the one thing I would say. You don't know what you don't know. You said she thought she might be a little late because she needed a babysitter for her 6-year-old and her 1-year-old. So maybe some emergency happened.
No.
And if that's why she had to leave, now she should have told you.
She should have called. Yeah.
And he said he tried to call her, but it went to voicemail. She could have been on another line talking to a babysitter about her kid. So it would be really nice to find out what happened exactly first, don't you think? But again, he's saying, do I give up on her completely?
Yes.
The thing is, I would say I'd leave it in her hands at this point. Because if she doesn't follow up with you, then there's something else going on. But if there was an emergency and she had to rush off because of some other thing, it would be polite for her to say, hey, I'm really sorry I ditched out the other day. Here's what happened. I had to run because of yada, 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 whatever. So your question, do I give up on her completely? I wouldn't say completely.
Yes.
I would just say give up on her unless she gives you a compelling reason not to. If she reaches out and there's a real valid reason.
If she contacts, she's not going to.
Yeah, but I'm saying if she does. And then the second
that was
answer.
Very rude.
Do I give up on dating completely?
No.
Not at all. Don't give up on dating.
There are still some good people out there.
There really are. And here's the thing. There are some really good single people that probably have already given up on dating. And one of the things that I would say, and this is advice I've just recently given to somebody near and dear to me, they're talking about dating sites and, where they're going to, again, when I was single 23 plus years ago, dating sites weren't a thing.
Right.
Heidi and I met out in the wild. I mean,
out in the wild.
Yeah, I caught this one out in the wild, like, a big game hunter or something, but it really wasn't in the wild. But I don't want people to think I was wearing camo and trapped you or something, but it wasn't quite like that. But if you go places that you're interested in and, do things that you're interested in, you might just accidentally meet somebody that has the same interests and hobbies that you have. So, the old-fashioned way could still work, too.
Yeah. Don't give up.
Yeah,
there are still some good ones out there, but that was extremely rude, and you should definitely walk away from that one.
And it doesn't say how they met.
Everybody deserves better than that.
Absolutely. It does not say how they met. It doesn't say if they met on a dating site or how they know each other. But anyway, question, do I give up on dating completely? No. Do I give up on dating her? Yes. Run. I would say don't call her, but if she calls you with a compelling reason as to why she bolted, then listen and, be compassionate because there could have been an emergency. That's all I'm trying to say. If you would like to chime in with advice, you can do that. This letter has been posted on our Facebook page for a bit. You can find it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
What can I say that I haven't already said about bettercreditcards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At bettercreditcards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Elephants are the only mammals on Earth who cannot jump. Although, I might be second behind him. I can jump, just not very well. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
It is estimated that it takes 2,000 frowns to cause a wrinkle. 2,000 frowns.
Really?
So don't frown. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
New York City was briefly named New Orange. Imagine if it was New Orange City.
New Orange.
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Stop signs used to be yellow. Yeah. Now they're red, but they used to be yellow. Another fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
About 97% of vegetable varieties grown in 1900 are now extinct. So we only have about 3% of vegetable varieties left from 120 years ago. That's not a fun fact. That's kind of a concerning fact. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What is that, John?
Pigs and dogs can taste water, but humans cannot.
Really?
Yeah, there you go. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Yay! It's brought to you by mintervention.com. A question for you, Heidi. Parents say their kids do this 50% more in the summer. What is it? Kids do this 50% more in the summertime. What
Snack.
is it? Yeah, snack or eat junk food. Good job, Heidi.
Why, thank you.
Wow, you're getting good at this. She's gotten like 2 questions right over the last year and a half.
I just know what my summers used to look like, so...
All right, Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Gramm, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. A Dutch city has become the first in the world to ban ads for meat as part of a plan to reduce greenhouse gases to fight climate change. Does that sound weird? The city banned advertisements in public spaces in an effort to drive down meat consumption because they're thinking people are only eating meat because they're seeing ads. Okay?
I don't think so.
They think this somehow is going to reduce carbon emissions. The Amsterdam suburb, Haarlem, Haarlem, population of 160,000. They plan to enact the ban in 2024, so they got a couple more years of doing this. The move is in response to recent studies that suggest global food production and consumption, particularly meat, accounts for about 1/3 of climate warming greenhouse gases. So there you go. That is such a bizarre story. They're going to ban the advertisement of meat in public spaces in an effort to help. So we'll see how that goes.
We've been eating meat from the beginning of time. This is whatever.
I don't know. It's confusing. Well, that's why it's here. It's weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. Time now for the list brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. This is the line of succession. With the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, Charles has officially been named Britain's monarch. King Charles III. William, whose new title is the Duke of Cornwall and Cambridge, also known as Prince of Wales, is the new heir to the throne. Here's the new line of succession. So first is Prince William, Charles and Diana's eldest son, born in 1982, followed by Prince George, William and Catherine's eldest son, 2013 is when he was born. Then Princess Charlotte, second child of William and Catherine, born in 2015. Then Prince Louis, third child of William and Catherine, born in 2018. So now we're down to Prince Harry, the second child of Charles and Diana, born in 1984. So there are people going, well, what would it take for Prince Harry to be king? All of those people
William's whole family would have to be wiped out.
And let's hope that doesn't have. That would be bad. And then Archie, which is Harry and Meghan's eldest son from 2019. Then Lilibet Mountbatten Windsor, second child of Harry and Meghan, born last year. And then Andrew, Duke of York, third child of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. He was born in 1960. He's the 8th in line. Princess Beatrice is 9th in line. And Sienna Maypeel Mosey, born in 2021, is 10th in line. I've got the entire list. It's very confusing to me, but you can see it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? Check out this beautiful family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Poipu, Kauai, Hawaii. Our family stayed recently and we absolutely loved it. The area is so beautiful and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can all enjoy your own area in a vacation rental? Visit Hawaii and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. Learn more at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Our quote today comes from Emo Phillips. We had a chance to see Emo Phillips.
We did.
He is a very funny guy. He's a very weird guy, but he's a very funny guy. And here's a quote from Emo Phillips. Everyone with telekinetic powers, raise my hand.
I like that.
It's very funny.
Gosh, he's funny.
He is. He's a weird dude, but he's a funny dude. And he's got a great quote for the quote of the day, brought to you by insurancechicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Time now for some good news brought to you by radiotravelgroup.com. Heidi, here's our good news for today. A new technique that destroys cancer using sound waves also spurs the immune system to kill off any remaining tumors. This is really exciting stuff. It's a non-invasive treatment developed by the University of Michigan, only needs to be partially effective to stop cancer from spreading. The treatment, called, I hope I get this right, hysteroplasty, non-invasively focuses ultrasound waves to mechanically destroy target tissue with millimeter precision. In many cases, the entirety of cancerous tumor cannot be targeted directly due to mass, like size, location, or stage, but researchers investigated the effects of partially destroying tumors with sound to 50 to 75%, and they found the technique was still very effective. They showed that in 80% of cases, the immune system broke down the rest of the tumor, and it did not return. It is currently being tested on humans following successful trials in rats.
Wow.
How amazing is that? So again, they're talking about sound waves destroying cancer cells.
That's amazing.
Now, this is done through, I'm trying to find the information here again. Is it ultrasound? Is that what they said? Yeah, ultrasound waves. So it's like super highly focused sound waves that they would direct at this tumor.
I love this.
And yeah, that's really, really cool. So it doesn't say...
you would no longer have to go through chemotherapy.
Well, I don't know. And it doesn't say if there are any side effects. We know somebody who recently went through radiation and chemotherapy, and there were side effects to both of those things, more so to the chemo than the radiation. But if this is a better way, if this is a better plan, how amazing could that be? So,
right.
Good job. Usually we read about people at universities doing studies that just don't make sense to me, like the effect of alcohol on mice or whatever. I'm glad that they're doing this one because this one does make sense to me. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.